Welcome to the first episode of The Art of Mind. Today's topic of overthinking our desires gave me the inspiration to share my perspective in hopes of helping others who might be struggling in the application of Neville's teachings. I've been practicing the law taught by Neville for close to 2 years, and after being mostly a hearer for 3 years, I've been finding myself more and more in self-dialogue this past year that have led to very profound revelations. And what I mean by that is when I'm manifesting a desire and I hit a wall, there will be this inner voice or inner guidance that will give me a new perspective on things through which I'm able to break through and get my desire into physical reality. So today's topic is the pitfalls of overthinking. Through my application of the law, I've fallen into the trap of overthinking or conditioning my desires. And I will give a quick anecdote to paint a picture. I had a specific person whom I wanted to be in a relationship with 2 years ago. I unconsciously manifested a series of undesirable circumstances through my fears, like being blocked and them having a new partner, etc. And I would go through periods of applying the law and getting him, quote unquote, back, but it never seemed to last. Because after 2 or 3 weeks or 6-week stops, he would just vanish again for months. Now, I will say that in the meantime, I would continue to attract other people and have other relationships through imagination. But recently, the intense burning desire to be with him came back. And with that came the feeling of self-pity and anger, followed by thoughts like, why can't I be happy with a person I desire to be with? Am I not worthy? Or is my application of the law flawed? Or even worse, is the law itself flawed? And the last question that inspired this episode was, why do I still desire him? And why, try as I may, can I not seem to let go of him? And immediately an answer popped into my mind. Desires are from God or the inner man. And as long as you don't fulfill that desire, you will stay in the loop of desiring him or whatever other desire you may have. So you owe it to yourself to fulfill this state properly this time around. And after I sat down with this thought for a minute, I remembered that the saying desires are from God came from one of Neville's lectures or books. So I found the chapter and I would like to read some excerpts out of this chapter, which is called Desire, the Word of God. It's chapter 7 from Neville's book Freedom for All. So Neville says, God speaks to you through the medium of your basic desires. Your basic desires are words of promise or prophecies that contain within themselves the plan and power of expression. By basic desire is meant your real objective. Secondary desires deal with the manner of realization. God, your I am, speaks to you, the conditioned conscious state, through your basic desires. Secondary desires or ways of expression are the secrets of your I am, the all-wise Father. And your Father, I am, reveals the first and last. I am the beginning and the end, but never does he reveal the middle or secret of his ways. That is, the first is revealed as the word, your basic desire, and the last is its fulfillment, the word made flesh. The second, or middle, or the plan of unfoldment, is never revealed to man, but remains forever the Father's secret. So Neville says we have two desires. The first one is the basic desire, and the second desire is the manner of realization. So staying with the topic of an SP or a specific person, your basic desire would be to be with a person. The secondary desires would be those little nudges and inspired actions, right? Those sudden desires to do something that without you realizing it, you're moving through the bridge of incidents to manifest your desire. An example would be you having the sudden desire to call a friend, and she invites you to a party, for example, where you see the person you would like to be with, and you guys catch up, and the ball starts rolling, so to speak. So these second desires are what Neville says, secrets of your I am, of your imagination, because you consciously have no idea what path you will have to take to get to your desire. You will only know after its fulfillment when you are able to look back, right? So this is what Neville means with, quote unquote, the second or middle or the plan of unfoldment is never revealed to man, but remains forever the Father's secret. Then Neville says, not knowing that the basic desire contains the plan and power of expression, man is always compromising and complicating his desire. Here is an illustration of what man does to the word of prophecy, which is his desires. So man desires freedom from his limitations or problem. The first thing he does after he defines his objective is to condition it upon something else. He begins to speculate on the manner of acquiring it, not knowing that the thing desired has a way of expression all of its own. He starts planning how he's going to get it, thereby adding to the word of God. If, on the other hand, he has no plan or conception as a fulfillment of his desire, then he compromises his desire by modifying it. He feels that if he will be satisfied with less than his basic desire, then he might have a better chance of realizing it. The inevitable result is death and plagues or failure and frustration as promised for such violations. So here Neville sees conditioning as speculating on how you will achieve your desire. But conditioning is also having a desire and then you yourself deciding you're not worthy of it, that you're not good enough, and that you don't desire or don't deserve wealth and love, etc. But it all ultimately leads to frustration and failure. And finally, I would like to add this last part out of the chapter. He says, God speaks to man only through the medium of his basic desires. Your desires are determined by your conception of yourself. As long as you remain in your present conscious state, so long will you continue desiring that which you now desire. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the nature of your desires. So Neville says here that you first change your conception of self, and then automatically your desires will change, right? And it's here where I don't fully agree with Neville. I actually believe that the desires you have right now are actually forming your new or next concept of self. You desire a certain partner or job today because you would like to become the type of person that has it. You have new desires because you desire a new self-concept. And once you materialize and fulfill that desire, it now confirms your new concept of self. And I would like to give 2 examples. So you might desire a specific person because of the qualities they have and the value they would add to your life. And ultimately, you want to be the type of person that has a partner like that. And once you manifest it, it confirms your new self-concept. You are now the type of person that has a partner like the partner you now have. A second example would be in career or financially. Say you desire a new job title or a higher net worth because you want to become the type of person that is a CEO or that has a 6-figure net worth. And when you manifest it, again, it confirms or locks in your new concept of self. So this is why I believe that a new period of new desires, actually comes before your new self-concept, your new conception of self. So in conclusion, do not condition your desires as they are from God, from the I am. Don't condition it by thinking of how it will manifest and what actions you need to take to manifest it, or by feeling unworthy of it. You go to the end and you assume its fulfillment. And it's your I am that will take care of the secondary desires, meaning the plan of its realization. And lastly, your desires precede the new self-concept. Don't let the feeling of unworthiness or imposter syndrome get in the way, right? The moment you have a desire, boldly claim your current desires, and eventually your desires will change again when you have the desire to have a new self-concept again. So we go through periods of constantly having a new self-concept. You can imagine that at 16, you're not going to have the same desires as when you're 20 or in your mid-20s or in your 30s. So when you have your current desires that are presenting themselves to you, they are from your I am. And it's your job to boldly claim them and to go to the end and assume, again, its fulfillment. I truly hope this video has helped you. Neville's teachings have played a very important role in my journey of self-development and creating the life that I desire. I hope that this channel will continue adding value to whomever might be listening. And the next episode will be on feeling worthy and feeling confident while manifesting your desire. I know from my own experience and the online Neville Goddard community that worthiness and confidence are a true stumbling block when manifesting, whether that's love or wealth or whatever. So I hope that message will resonate with you as well.